Is it gonna rain? Oh look, Thor's hammer, but smaller.
Behold, 'tis I, mighty Thor!
Psh, you mean mighty tiny? Nay, does this look tiny to thou?
Huzzah!
Well, yep, that works. Forget about it. You're good with us? Let's go. You suck.
Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review. Today we're taking a look at another Marvel figure, and it's Thor the Mighty Avenger Blaster Armor Thor. Wow, that's a lot of Thor and words and stuff. So I got this figure from Big Bad Toy Store on their clearance rack. They've got a lot of figures that they put at various levels discount, and I was perusing, I think it was like about the 75 to 90% rack, and they had this guy there. It's from the original Thor movie, which is pretty cool, and I got him for $3, and I figured, why not? So let's go ahead, take a look at the packaging. So here we have Thor in the box. Again, this is from the original Thor movie, even though it says Thor the Mighty Avenger, which is kind of interesting. We got a picture of Chris up here at the top as Thor, looking pretty cool. This is in about the 3 3/4 inch scale, even though the description on Big Bad Toy Store had, I think it's at 6 inches, pretty sure. But I figured it was going to be a 3 3/4 because that's what most of these movie type figures are, unless it's a Marvel Legends. Now, the package actually looks pretty cool. I like it. I like the artwork of Thor up here. The logo looks cool. Kind of this fire into space kind of look. We get a picture of Cap and Iron Man and Thor up here in the corner looking pretty neat. I like the cutouts, and the box looks really nice. And then, of course, it says Thor down here. And we got the figure and the dual missile blast, which is pretty darn awesome. So just kind of a close-up of this packaging. So yeah, I like the artwork there. I think that looks pretty cool. Logo looks neat. Yeah, I mean, they did a good job with it. I like the cutouts. I don't know why, but I like the cutouts on the box there and over here. I think that looks pretty cool. But there he is in the package, and there is his accessories. There is the figure itself. On this side, we've got that little logo, which is pretty cool looking. On this side, we got a little picture of Thor. Looks pretty neat. Nothing really on the bottom except for sad baby. And then here is the back of the package. So here's a picture of Thor with his little missile launchers and armor on. There's a close-up. He's got dual blast on there. And then here are some of the other figures. And then there's a little write-up. So again, I like the package design. I think it was pretty good. And you know, even though this is a few years old, it's definitely pretty neat looking. So here's the write-up. If you want to pause and read that, you're more than welcome to. There is Thor, looking all Thor-like with some lightning behind him. There he is in space with his armor, looking pretty neat. And then we can get a Secret Strike Loki. And then we've got Shield Blast Marvel's Odin, which that thing he's got looks so deadly. Much cooler than Loki over there. And then we also get a Frost Giant, which looks pretty cool. Definitely digging that. And then, of course, kids, you can always visit Hasbro.com/Thor with the hammer flying, which looks kind of fun. So, yeah, there it is. Thor with the blaster armor in the box. Let's go ahead and get him out of this package and see what we think. So here we have Thor out of the package, and I have to say, I am more impressed with this toy than I ever should have been. You know, and it's funny because I never even bothered looking at these figures back in the day, but I gotta say the sculpt is awesome. The paint job on the figure is awesome. The articulation is awesome. Everything about this figure is super cool. You know, it's just a smaller scale, which how well they have done the figure, I don't really mind. Now, he does come with some accessories. And he does not wear this outfit in the movie, obviously. It is different. I mean, it's an accessory toy piece, but it does look very Asgardian to me. And I appreciate that. We got a different design sculpt on the body armor here than the missile armor, and I'll show that off We got the red, and he's got these red ribbons hanging down off his belt, which are sashes, I guess, which look pretty cool. I like the black pants. I think the black, the gold, and the red really go well together, and that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and start by looking at the accessories. Now, he does come with 2 sets of the smaller blue missiles, and let's see if I can get this to focus here. So there it is, and to be honest, I mean, it is detailed, it looks pretty cool, but it looks like giant Asgardian sperm missiles, and that just is very strange. At least it was not like a translucent white, I gotta say that. But it also comes with a set of larger missiles, which is either cooler or creepier. If we can get this to focus. Focus. Alright, so there is that. And it's like a cluster bomb of the Asgardian sperm missiles, which is very, very strange. But it's cool that it comes with 2 sets of missile accessories. I am appreciative of that. And then we have the armor right here. And it's done really well. I like the paint job. I like the design. Even the button on the back has some molded detail, which is very, very impressive. And it actually has 2 gimmicks, and I'll show that off when we actually play with the figure itself here. So looking at Thor, they did a good job with him. It stands pretty well. It's got a lot of articulation, some more than... well, some of the Marvel Legends figures, which is pretty cool. I'm definitely digging him. Let's check the hammer out. I'm going to pull that out of his hand. Sorry, dude, but I am worthy. Oh, now he doesn't want to stand without the hammer. Ah, I was balancing him. We'll throw that back there. Okay, so here's the hammer. And it's done really well. I like the detail on it. It's got a nice metallic finish to it. We can look at the handle. Looks nice. It's got the little band. The only thing about this is it feels that the handle is not as strong as the hammer here, and this could easily snap. Like, you could break the hammer head off very, very easy, which is kind of a shame. But again, this was a very small, cheap little toy. So looking at this guy, let's talk about the articulation here. I'm going to focus. Ta-da! So there he is. So as far as articulation goes, his head moves back and forth. He does have a hinge on his head. He can look down, but he cannot look up. He has hinges at his arms. So if I can put this on screen, his arm does have a socket there. It can spin like that. He has a hinge on his elbow. His elbow can also spin, which is cool. His wrist can spin. No other joints there. He does have a diaphragm joint up here, so he can ab crunch, and he can also spin up there. There's no spinning at the waist itself. The upper thighs can only twist this way. No forward and back motion, which is a little bit of a shame. He does have a double jointed knee, which is very cool, and then nothing at the foot itself. So for what it is, this figure is actually very, very detailed, and I'm very impressed with it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the details a little bit closer. Alright, taking a look at Thor a little close up. The sculpt on this thing is really well done for the size. I think they captured the likeness of the actor. I really like the detail in the chest and the shoulders. Looks really nice. The hair looks cool. We have, you know, nice sculpted hair. The paint's nice. Even the back of the armor here looks really, really cool. The biggest downfall to the head on the figure, I think, is where the hair stops on the back of the neck. But that's really kind of compensate for the armor gimmick, which is, you know, that's okay. I don't mind. But they really nailed the eyes and the beard and the mouth. I think this just looks really good for the size figure it is. Now, looking at the middle section of the body, again, great detail. Love the forearms, love the bracelets, the armor pieces. I like the sashes coming off of the belt. That looks very cool. I like the black and the gold. The hammer looks good. You know, it's hard to screw up a Thor's hammer piece, but you know, it does look good. I like it, but the details, excellent all around. They did not skimp out on the paint on this thing. The back of the armor looks really nice with the black, glossy black interlaced with the gold there. I think that looks really, really cool. And you know, the red that they have on the sash. Now, I think it's interesting that one hand is bare while the other hand has got some red on the wrist. Which is pretty cool. I like that. It just makes it look different. So a look at the bottom of the legs. Most of it is black, but I like the gold on the knees. I think that looks good. And then we got some gold paint up around the upper thigh with some straps up there that kind of break up the black, which is a nice touch. And then, you know, the back of it is just pretty much black, but there's a lot of really nice molded detail. Again, for a figure this small, they put a lot of effort into it. So just to show off the armor on the figure itself with the detail, a lot of great molded detail on the launchers themselves. I love the chest piece. The armor there has multiple colors into it, which is very nice. On that gold, it's kind of a dirty look to it, a used look, which is very, very cool. As does the actual launchers themselves. And it got a little bit of a glitter to it, which I don't know if the camera's going to pick up. And the fact that the button on the back has like an Asgardian logo, very, very cool. And once again, how much detail they put into this little figure is amazing. So let's go ahead and show off the armor gimmick, which is pretty cool. So it's got, this armor actually has two different gimmicks. One, you can pull it back this way. You press this button and it launches forward. The other is to put the missiles in, and I'll show this off here in a second. You got two buttons at the top that actually launches the missiles from a spring-loaded mount on the inside. So that's pretty darn cool. So to put it onto Thor, let's bring him up. You're just going to slide it over Thor, make sure it clicks down. Now when you take it off, you kind of have to pull Thor's head back just a little because his chin kind of gets in the way of this armor, and then you just wiggle it right off like that. So just be aware of that if you pick this figure up. So we're going to get that down on there. So there he is, looking all kinds of cool. I definitely like it. We're going to load that up. See if we can get him to stand. He's kind of awkward to stand with this on here. He's very, very top heavy. Oh, I'm going to get it. You kind of have to get 1 foot flat. And then I notice if we twist it a little, there we go. So if you put a little bit of a twist on his torso, you can get it to balance pretty good, but it is a challenge, I will say. But it will stand. Just play with it and you'll get him upright. That doesn't sound right at all. So let's go ahead and continue the inappropriateness and install the sperm missiles. We're going to use the small ones first. Oh, that's what he said. So you're just going to put these in here like that, and they are huge. Huge, huge, huge. So again, the gimmick, I like this little weapon gimmick. So you push the button, missiles come forward, and look how strong these things are. It just does not sound appropriate at all. So we're going to launch a missile at the back wall. Good night. Oh my gosh, one has flown off, never to be seen again, onto the floor. Let's put the larger missile cluster in. So we're going to put that one in. Then we're going to put that one in. Again, the gimmick works just the same. You push the button, boom, there it is. And is it going to be any less powerful? Let's see. No, it is just as strong. So that is pretty impressive. For a very cheap toy, I am digging it. I think they nailed this on the play gimmick for this little tiny figure, and that's pretty impressive. For size comparison, here we have the Blaster Armor Thor next to the Pizza-Eating Spider-Man. Of course, it's from the 6-inch Marvel Legends line. As you can tell, this is definitely the 3.25 inch scale, and he's very tiny. It's the tiny Thor. But the detail on this thing is as good, if not better, than some of the Legends figures. Here we have the tiny Thor next to one of his buddies from the Avengers, Iron Man. in the Mark 43 armor from Marvel Legends. Again, he's just like half the size of Iron Man, even though his little sperm missiles do kind of go over Iron Man's head a little. Oh, so inappropriate. Here we have the Blaster Armor Thor next to the Avengers Age of Ultron Hulkbuster armor in the 2-inch scale. So they've actually gone from like the 3.25 inch scale to a 2-inch scale for the movie figures, which is very sad. Now this one actually has an Iron Man in it. So just to kind of show the two of them together, look how small that Iron Man is next to this Thor figure. So definitely a downgrade in the movies. While I like the fact I got a really nice tiny Iron Man and Hulkbuster figure out of that, I didn't buy any of the others because they were just so blinking tiny. I think this was a better movie line on a smaller scale. And finally, here we have the Blaster Armor tiny Thor guy next to the Build-A-Figure King Thor, and this guy towers over him literally. So you can see the wild variety that we get with some of these movie figures and Legends figures. Don't worry, Tiny Thor, one day you'll grow up to be King Thor. And yeah, they're just kind of all over the place. But again, I'm impressed with the detail on this figure. It is as good as this Build-A-Figure is easily. And that's a pretty bold statement. So is the Blaster Armor Thor from the original Thor movie a figure that you want in your Marvel collection? Well, if you are a movie completist, you're probably going to want this figure to complete your movie sets. But to be honest, I mean, this is a pretty easy pass, but it's also a pretty easy pickup. At the time of this recording, Big Bad Toy Stores got this on clearance for like $3 and some change. So that's not a bad price at all for this figure. You get a lot of detail, you get a lot of articulation, the molding on it is really, really nice. The paint apps are way better than what we're getting on a lot of Marvel Legends today, which is kind of a shame. It's a fun piece. It's got a fun gimmick and accessory that you know, comes with 2 different sets of missiles. The armor itself has 2 different gimmicks on it, which I really do appreciate. All around, it's a pretty good figure for what you're paying, especially if you buy it on clearance. I recommend this for anybody that likes a good, solid action figure at a good price, or if you're looking something that's pretty cool and cheap for a kid. So there he is, the Blaster Armor Thor.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, and as always, look for more videos in the future.